presentation and would like to call forward to the podium to introduce our guest of honor. We, of course, know who our guest of honor is. It is no secret that His Excellency is here. But I'm also privileged to say that the minister that oversees people like me, Vashamarari, Varipano, Madame Monica Mutsangwa. She, of course, is the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services. May we give her a round of applause as she comes forward.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Ministers who are here, Members of Parliament, Research Council of Zimbabwe Board Chairman, Dr. M.J. Tumbari, and other board members who are here, Permanent Secretaries who are here, the international guest speaker who has just finished talking to us, and other international guests who may be here, members of the diplomatic corps, senior government officials, vice chancellors, and heads of tertiary institutions, teachers, students, pupils, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, good morning. Please allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to you today our guest of honor for this auspicious event. Ladies and gentlemen, this event, as you have heard, is about the nexus between research and industry, key to innovation and development. Indeed, this resonates well with the aspirations of the Second Republic. That is of modernization and industrialization of Zimbabwe. The purpose of this symposium is to make the national research, science, innovation, and entrepreneurship ecosystems work for the realization of Vision 2030. I'm informed the symposium has attracted researchers, young and seasoned scientists, exhibitors, entrepreneurs, industrialists, and government officials. Our guest of honor is a revolutionary and a politician. He rose through the ranks in government. He served as a Minister of State Security, as Speaker of Parliament, as Minister of Rural Housing, as Minister of Defense, Acting Minister of Finance, and Minister of Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, and Vice President. Our guest of honor is a strong supporter of research. Research, innovation, and entrepreneurship is epitomized by the national mantra, Zimbabwe is open for business. Business thrives within research, innovation, and entrepreneur environment. In the 2019 budget, allocation for research and development amounts to 0.3% of the entire budget. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to welcome none other than His Excellency Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, to officially open this symposium.
Pray, be seated. our Director of Ceremonies, our international guest speaker, Mr. Amiri Bhatt, the Sage Council of Zimbabwe Board Chairman, and other members of the board. The Executive Director of the Sage Council of Zimbabwe, Madam Zite, senior government officials who are present, heads of research institutions and councils, heads of parastatals and captains of industry who may be here, representatives of academia, teachers and students who are here, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. I'm honored to address you today at this 12th Zimbabwe International Research Symposium. Research, which is one of the key components to the socio-economic development of the Second Republic of our country. As such, my government applauds this gathering, which brings together stakeholders in the policy, research, innovation, entrepreneurship, and industry sectors of Zimbabwe and beyond to discuss, share, and explore aspects around research. The National Research Agenda, among other issues, is why we are here. The nexus between research and every facet of human development, as well as the importance of research to the continued growth and development of our country, cannot be overemphasized. Research is at the very heart of our decision-making process. The decisions for the direction of a nation cannot be made in a vacuum, and government needs scientific research finding embedded in all spheres of our economy. Research is essential to economic development through innovation, increased production, efficiencies, and effectiveness. What policies have succeeded in other countries across the continent, and what policies have not worked? This hinges on research. Where we can cut costs and where we can increase government revenue, research is key to our desire to efficiency in the building of our economy and the new Zimbabwe we all want. My administration, therefore, remains committed to support and facilitate platforms such as this one to enhance the nexus between our country's growth trajectory and research across all sectors of the economy. To this end, I urge the Research Council of Zimbabwe to be more robust in the coordination, promotion, and supervision of research throughout the country. More so, as we quest to leapfrog the development, modernization, and industrialization of our economy towards middle income status by 2030. Research efforts across all sectors of our economy must take a substantial and vital contribution to the development of our country. It is therefore integral that all stakeholders identify research aspects whose output has the potential to help produce world-class goods and services within their specific fields. We are indeed an educated, disciplined, and creative nation, but this is no longer enough without research. Today, research is becoming more and more competitive as an essential driver to the growth and prosperity of any nation. I therefore encourage all of us to shift our paradigm and lose some of our rigid discipline, learn new ideas and unlearn the old ones. Let us open our minds and think without the box. The theme of this symposium, the nexus between research and industry, is key to the innovation and sustainable development, is most timely at this juncture of our nation's development. To be meaningful, research findings must never merely be for academic endeavor, but for industrial use. The body of knowledge, therefore, must be disseminated for utilization by the end users, such as policymakers, ourselves, industry, entrepreneurs, and investors, among others. Only when we can increase transfer of such knowledge can we meaningfully buttress our Zimbabwe is open for business mantra, philosophy, to grow our local industry and all other sectors of our economy. Dynamic and effective interaction among all stakeholders must be enhanced while synergies and partnerships are brokered. Creativity, innovation, and technopreneurs must be encouraged through efficient links to big data and open science platforms. My administration remains committed to invest in research and development through the allocation of at least 1% of GDP towards research. The current 0.3% allocation in the 2019 budget must be seen as a first step which will improve incrementally as we go forward. Allow me to reiterate my government's determination to accelerate the modernization and the industrialization agenda within our economy with the requisite focus on market-driven policies. Due to the centrality of the agriculture sector to the economy, we challenge increased research into seed varieties, crop and animal disease management, as well as climate change mitigation strategies. Equally important, however, is to continuously explore avenues on how we can improve our agricultural yields adaptable agriculture technology for all our farmers. The use of appropriate green energy solutions in agriculture is yet another realm that researchers must delve into. The immense potential of the mining sector as one of the key drivers of our economic growth, coupled with numerous unexploited resources, must reinvigorate current research and development around these sectors. The manufacturing sector has for a while suffered under derelict equipment, which innovation and new inventions must seek to address. A wider scope also exists around the beneficiation and value addition of our numerous primary products. This calls for a national research agenda which addresses both our present and future needs in the context of big business, small industry needs of the informal sector, which is dominated by our women and our youths. In view of the unfolding provincial economies, which we are promoting under my administration, and anticipated rural industry system, it is integral for research initiatives which addresses these emerging realities in our country. Furthermore, research, innovation, and inventions must be aimed at benefiting the ordinary people throughout the country, whilst propelling our country's industrialization agenda. We must thus foster a culture of research and innovation at the national, provincial, district and world level. Research teams must be established to give gravitas to innovation and initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, I was extremely impressed as I went around the exhibitions by the young peoples from primary and secondary schools in the country, from all the provinces. The talent that our children have, we must support them. The area of health, water, sanitation, and other social service aspects affect the majority of our people on a daily basis. The present conditions in these spheres must be changed through groundbreaking and life-transforming research breakthroughs. I therefore call for the development of a research cadreship which is endeared to the ordinary people and also cares about those that live in the rural areas and deprived communities. The national research agenda must recognize the present structure and the state of our economy and influence the future of every sector of the economy, be it in mining, agriculture, infrastructure development, tourism, manufacturing, services and social service sectors. To accelerate this process, the importance of a wide spectrum of networks will be invaluable. It is therefore commendable that this symposium has convened a cross-section of participants blending renowned international researchers with young scientists, industrialists, and policy makers. Undoubtedly, the new generation of researchers, the young scientists and innovators must be mentored, nurtured, and developed by us. My administration will continue to make concerted efforts to support the youths in this regard. Closer collaboration between the government, international partners, both on the continent and further afield, is also called upon, so that young researchers have access to more technical expertise across all fields. Materials, data, and documents of research elsewhere should be made available. Our research must also be open for the world. Meanwhile, I urge industry to solicit, motivate, and utilize the output by researchers to grow their businesses, improve efficiency, and adapt to the ever-changing local and international business environment. Only when we collaborate can we succeed. In conclusion, let me say congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope, to the award winners of today. I encourage all delegates to this symposium to keep on improving your work. With these few remarks, may I declare this 12th Zimbabwe International Research Symposium officially opened. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you.